one of the things that I've tried to, pardon me, demonstrate, um, you know, my marriage by no means is perfect. And you know, people who know your mom and me joke about, the special place God has in heaven for her because of her choosing me and choosing to stay with me. And I've come to realize she truly is a remarkable human being. And by no means would I be where I am without her. She is without question just a jewel of a woman. Um, I have learned so much about being a man and being a husband, obviously, from her. Um, and I want to be sure you and your sister have seen how your mother and I relate to each other,
Mhm.
how I relate to her in particular, and how I want to be a servant for her.
Mhm.
Um, and again, I'm glad to hear, you recognize that as a standard for you to hold young men accountable to, who may want to come into your life.
Mhm.
Um, when you find that person, you're going to rejoice because of, and listen, every kid goes through this. What you're going through is not unique to you. Every teenager goes through this who wants to be in a relationship, who wants to
Mhm.
have a steady one-on-one in high school. Um, when you get that person either in college or after college, or heck, you may meet someone in your junior year going into your senior year, and that may be your one. Who knows? Um, what have you learned from your mom in relating to me that you are able to use in your quest or in your search? I hate to use those words, but I can't think of anything that's more appropriate. But in your dating scene.
I definitely, and this is no shade to you at all, but I've definitely learned a new level of patience, especially coming from mom's end. Um, mom is very, she's very on top of things. I think me, you, and Naya are very, we can handle high stress situations or higher stress situations, and we just react to it differently. Mom is not that way, and in you all's marriage, there are some things where she's like, okay, we need to get this, and this, and this done, but we need to do this, and this. We're not waiting to the last minute, but you can work effectively at the last minute or in moments of high stress. And even though that's not the way mom works, you all have built a relationship now where she has faith in, like, okay, yeah, it's at the 11th hour, but Marcel's going to get it done. And I just watching her in certain aspects, kind of shift how she does things, because she knows that you can do it, is inspiring, because it just lets me know that there are people that make it so you don't have to do everything yourself, even though that you have the ability to. You don't have to. I think that's one thing that I will say I give you credit for, is I've learned that being a young lady and growing into a woman, that it's okay to be independent, but it's also okay to, like, let back and say, okay, well, they're offering to do it. I need help. So, of course, please help me. And that's why I always credit and, praise you all's relationship. I shouldn't say praise, but I value it, because you all show me that there can be a balance in marriage, even though there are two independent people, but when you all are together, you can rely on one another. But yeah, for mom, definitely patience, um, a level of understanding. You all have very different ways of responding to emotion. And I favor the way my mother responds to emotion, and just the way you all try to work with each other in that. Like, mom understands that there are certain instances where, you don't use a lot of words, but your body language and your, demeanor says a lot. And with mom, mom is gonna have quite a few words. She's gonna have quite a few facial expressions. She's gonna have quite the body language. And just seeing how you all, coexist and work through things with those polar opposites is truly amazing. So yes, patience and understanding from mom are two really big things.
As you are growing and becoming more comfortable with your sense of independence, I also applaud you for not losing your sense of wholeness, WHOLENESS. Understanding you have everything within yourself to be complete.
Yes.
How do you foresee yourself maintaining that sense of wholeness as you are looking for a boyfriend, as you are looking for, maybe a fiance, eventually a husband? How have you strategized maintaining your sense of self while also exploring the possibility of adding someone to your sense of self?
As of right now, it's a couple of friends, definitely after school activities, but it's a lot of prayer. I kid you not. Oh my gosh. I have prayed so much. And then I'm like, this is me saying this. Like, I feel like, there's probably other things that like probably should take precedence in my prayer life. But I do pray about other things, but there has been a lot of prayers about just like, man, like, God, why is it just me? Like, granted, some of my friends don't have boyfriends, they have people they're talking to. Like, is it the way I look? Is it because I don't play a sport? Is it because I'm short? Is it because is it because my face is a certain way? Is it because I'm this skin tone? Because I don't wear this? Because I do wear that? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of unanswered questions. And it's questions that other people cannot answer. My friends can't tell me why such and such doesn't think I'm cute. They're not such and such. Now they can make assumptions, but they don't know for sure. So definitely a lot of prayer. That's another thing that Kanai and me both kind of instilling each other is when you don't know, pray. Granted, the Lord doesn't have a big booming voice. Oh, like he doesn't do all that, but the little things. Like I remember there was a guy for like until the beginning of the school year, and I was like, man, like I was like, Lord, it's not moving nowhere. Like, can you give me something that shows either he's headed this way or he's not headed this way? And I kid you not, a week later, it was something big, bright as day. I was like, you're a terrible person. All right, shout out, come on. So I mean, like, it's literally the Lord in prayer, and I think that's you and mom instilling that in us that God he should be very present in your life, your prayer life, especially, everything you do should have something to do with the Lord. And if it's not, bring them on in. And I think that's one thing I will definitely maintain as I get older and I'm looking for a permanent husband or, a boyfriend, fiance, whichever you want to say, is prayer. I do think though, as I get older and I acquire more and more friends that are also on the same journey as me, my friends will probably play, or their role will probably increase. But as right now I'm in high school, I mean, like I was saying, like not many people are focused on that because I mean, like a lot of them probably aren't looking for like real relationships. And if they are, they're probably in one. But I do think that as I get older, the role of friendship will increase.
Yeah, listen, that's a remarkable observation you've made about yourself and your prayer life. I don't believe there's anything off limits in prayer. I mean, I am a strong believer the Lord wants preeminence over every aspect of your life. And, you've never shared with me that I can remember how fervently you pray about this particular aspect of your life. So I feel good about that because it tells me your head and your heart are in the right place. That you are, as the scripture says, acknowledging the Lord in all your ways so he can direct your path. And for me as a father and as a Christian, that encourages me because there are some things, listen, as much as I may know the scripture and as much as I may have counseled other people, there are times when I struggle in my own prayer life
Mhm.
as to whether I should quote unquote bother God with this particular issue. So
Yes.
yeah, if you've already gotten to that point and you have zero shame and going to him with that particular prayer request on your heart and in your spirit, then you are way ahead of the game as far as I'm concerned.
Listen, and on top of that, I think that the situation has definitely changed the way I view my prayer life. I was very much so, prayers when you're right here with it, sometimes I have to fill your bed right here with it. But I've learned that like prayer can literally be as simple as like you looking at the sky and just like, Jesus, cover me. God, be with me, see me through. Just, I mean, there's been a plenty of times where like I've gone in my room after school and I'll sit at my desk and I'll be like, the blood of Jesus. Or I'll be crying and I'm just like, Lord, I don't even know what to do. Like there's sometimes where like I don't even have the words. I'll be sitting in classes and I don't even have the word. I just calling his name. And I will say that's been one of the positives about this whole experiencing the life of dating. It's definitely changed and drawn me closer and strengthened my relationship with the Lord.
Amen.
It may not seem like the most like the for lack of a better term, the normal way that things kind of happen, but I feel like I mean, this is one of the places like I really am struggling and like I don't have immediate answers, and I feel like that's when you really should seek Jesus, because I mean the world can't give you everything, but the Lord can. So it may not be immediate, and sometimes I'll be thinking, I know you are on time God, but but he always pulls through in the end, so I can't dock his Yelp review. So yeah.
So how have you used your dating experience? So one of the things I know that I've tried, and your mother has tried as well, and only you can really tell us how successful we've been. But to use what you go through as an instrument or as a bridge to help others. And so one of the things I've noticed about you, particularly since you started high school, you have strong friendships,
Yeah.
strong interactions with girls your age, and seems like you are their go-to person. That you are someone who is unafraid to give a word of advice, a word of encouragement, a word of counsel. And again, from the outside looking in, I like that because
Hmm.
that shows me um, my daughter is someone other people trust,
Hmm.
which carries a significant burden because you don't want to mislead people. You don't want to
Yeah.
guide people down the wrong path. So how have you used your experience at such a young age in such a short amount of time? How do you use that to be a blessing to your peers?
I'm a very I'm a I'm a very observant person in the sense that like my gut feeling be strong. And I will say that one of the areas in that same light where I kind of lack is I don't like hurting people's feelings. And so if what I see I feel like is gonna hurt your feelings, I try to shy away from that. If it's gonna hurt you, like if it's like detrimental to your safety, I'm gonna say something. But if it's more so like a feelings based thing, I try to shy away from it. But I definitely give insight on situations when I'm asked. For certain experiences that I've already experienced, and my friends are either headed in that direction or like, well, this is what this is doing, and I feel like okay, I know where that could be headed. I would definitely say something. And that's partly because I know how I felt when I went through it. And granted, everybody's different, but nobody wants to miss dinner because they're crying about some guy. That's one of the. I'm still mad about that. Like, I'm still mad that I even let that happen. Like, you missed a meal for a dude. Like, and now you hungry and sad. That's not funny. Like, that's not cute. Not look at you. Now you look goofy. So I just know how I felt about it. And I don't like seeing my friends upset. And I will say that's another thing that you and mom have both instilled in me is the power of friendship. Um, my you and mom both have friends that you can rely on and vice versa. For example, Uncle Craig, your best friend, Miss Alicia, mom's best friend, and the way you all can talk to each other and rely on each other and treat each other like family. I try to model that in my friendships. And I feel like part of being a sister, especially since I have one, is I know you feeling that, but sis, you wrong. Or sis, I know that that's cute, but you know he not for you, twin. That's okay though. That's okay. So I feel like I try to show that in my friendship is just based off experience. And if I don't know it, I try to, gauge the situation. But if a friend asks and I have it, I will give it. If I don't, I'll say, well, I don't have that one. I could try to find it and I'll get back to you. But if I don't find nothing, me and the Lord will be conversing about it for you. So, but yeah, I will that's what I'll say on that. Hopefully my friends think that I give, good advice or for what I can, but yeah, that's all I have on that.
When you think about where you're going to be 10 years, 15 years from now, are you married? Are you looking to be married? How have you planned or mapped out the next few years of your life before you turn or as you turn 30 in terms of being in relationships?
Mm-hmm. 10 years from now, I hope to be in a long-term relationship heading to get engaged. That puts me at 26, yeah. Hope I want to be married before 30. As of right now, I don't want kids. So like that definitely changes my timeline. Because I know, like, for example, like my sister wants to have kids before she hits her 30s. So I mean, for her, she probably want to be married by 20, 25, 26. So, but for me, I will definitely say that I stretch my timeline a bit more.
It also will affect your pool of candidates.
Yeah, that too. Um, I I don't see myself getting into a long-term relationship right after college. Just because there's so much I want to do on my own. And not that having a partner would hinder that, but I don't know. It's just something about like being to yourself. Like I want, like when I get older, I want to have adulting years to myself and then get to like having a relationship.
That means
That
that means you need an exit strategy then. I mean, let's just for kicks and giggles, let's say you meet a decent young man when you go to college
mm-hmm,
and you two start dating and you two become one-on-one. And let's say this happens in your sophomore year.
mm-hmm,
And you all come from the same city, so you can see each other during the summer. You two may be one-on-one steady for 2.5 years. If you want some adulting time to yourself, then you're going to need to figure out a way to gently break up with a dude who's good for you in some respects. So have how are when are you going to start
so I have
devising
thought
an
about
exit strategy?
that. I have thought about that. Partially because it's like if that does happen, I don't want to miss out on something good because I want to be able to walk around my house on Sundays, dance around my apartment or some sort, blasting music and not caring that somebody else is sleeping in my, you know what I'm saying? But also in that same regard, I feel like in me the right person for me, I might still be able to do the things I want to do. Like for me, I'm not too like huge on like moving in with somebody fairly soon. Like I feel like yeah, you can move in with your significant other, but like that something about that time to yourself in your own space without them in your space is something that I so like if that happens and we get out of college and I'm like, I really love that this is happening, but like we need to have our own places. Like that would probably work for me. I feel like that would probably be my negotiation. Like, okay, like I really do love this person, I really gonna be them, but I do want stuff to myself, that would probably be my negotiation. Unless something else happens, like we end up moving thousands of miles apart, then that's something different. But like if we're in the same like proximity, that's probably gonna have to be my like deal breaker. Like, yes, like we're so in love. Yes, we can be okay, period. But you got to have your own space. Sorry.
Well,
So
call me old fashioned, but I would like for you to remain, I would like for you to not move in with your man until you get married,
I hear that.
so, if, but that's all part of understanding the necessity of talking about your plans, your preferences, and going into those stages of your life with your eyes wide open.
Yeah.
So there are not any secrets or any last minute left turns that
Mm-hmm.
catch you napping. But if you establish with whomever he is, what your goals are for the first 3 to 5 years after school, going into your 30s, then again, that will help you narrow down your candidates, so you're not losing time with someone who doesn't have the same set of ideas or the same or similar set of plans that you have in
Mm-hmm.
mind. I think that's very important.
I agree. I feel like, especially at this age, just doing things because they're fun and because, they're not, I mean, for some people they are serious, but like, as far as for me, like this is not serious. Um, I can do certain, I can do a lot more with like, wasting time with a guy because I just think he's cute. Whereas when I get out of college, I can't just be spending 3-4 years with a dude because he's cute and he drives a cool car. It comes down to a point, like you were saying, where like I have to figure out what are like, oh my gosh, yes, perfect. And like what's, oh, you cannot do that. That's absolutely atrocious. And, figuring it out. So like if I'm spending 3-4 years with a dude, it's something that I feel like can build and blossom and grow into something that is marriage. Now, if something happens and, that things happen, but, that's what I really want to spend time after college doing. Maybe not right after, but, 2 or 3 years after is like, okay, like, yeah, that was fun. Also, now we need to get married. Like, we need to get this career kicking. So, but yeah, I will agree with you. I feel like, especially once I get out of college for real, that's when I really need to be like, okay, you don't have your finances together. You still stay with your mama. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So,
Well, listen, I am hopeful both you and your sister will choose men, and I use that word on purpose, choose. I don't want you all to feel pressured
mm,
into doing anything. I don't have any confidence you will feel pressured, but I want you to choose men whom you believe will help you accentuate all that God has gifted you to be. That he's someone who compliments you. He is someone who supports you. He's someone who cheers you on and who maximizes the best in who you are. And I have every confidence that you will do that. I think you are just cream of the crop when it comes to being a teenage young lady. I know you're going to do extraordinary and exquisite things. And I'm excited to see how you're going to leave imprints on the world as you go throughout the various stages of your life. And whomever you choose to be your partner, he's going to have front row seat at one of the greatest lives lived. And so I am looking forward with great anticipation to see how you get through this stage of your life in the next few years, so you can have an impression upon a young man and make him a better man, as well as he's going to help you be the best woman you can become.
I agree. I hope I am excited as well just to see how things play out. Because 5-10 years from now, I'll be looking like, man, I was so stressed about that, but now it's all working out. So
Right.
I'm excited to see too.
Good, good. All right. Well, listen, this will wrap up our latest episode of Girl Dadding. And so always a treat to be with you, Kiyani, and learn a few things about you. And um, um, I'm doubly impressed by, again, how you have gone through this time of uncertainty, but you've held on to the solid rock of your faith. And believe me, that's going to pay big dividends in the near and not so near future. So again, to our audience, thank you for this time. We'll see you next week on the next episode of Girl Dadding.
Bye. Thank you guys so much for listening.